Okay, we're with Laura Muir, Athlete of the Year for 2016. I think we may have said this last year, but this year it really was a tough one to win, wasn't it, Laura?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, wasn't just a short list; it was a very long list. So, yeah, it was great to to come home with the award, with considering the competition I had from so many athletes, and I think all of them could have deservedly won it.
And I think the reception that you received at the awards dinner from 420 people on their feet and cheering and shouting, and it really was quite a reception. And I think you were overwhelmed by that.
I was, yeah, I was okay at the start, and I think it just kind of hit me, and yeah, I just couldn't go over the reception I had, and yeah, just really flattered, really.
And looking back over the year, there are so many highlights that we can maybe talk about. But I mean, if I could pick out one of my own, I think right at the start in Holyrood Park, there was a great noise ripped round the park that day when you brought the relay home for Scotland.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a great day, and yeah, it was me, Cameron, Jake, and Steph, and they did all the work for me. I did bring it home on that last leg, and no, it was great to be running in a Scottish Fest and on Scottish soil from my very first race of 2016.
And I think we were speaking the other night as well. Whatever happens in your life, you will always have Paris and that 3:55.22.
Yeah, definitely. And I never thought I'd have that time next to my name, and I don't know if I'll ever run faster than that. But yeah, no, it was a great race, and especially just after Rio as well. So yeah, I'm just honoured to have that time next to my name.
And you've had time now to reflect on Rio. How do you look back on your first Olympics?
I mean, I'm very happy with it. I mean, it wasn't the performance that I wanted, but I think in terms of our preparation and everything that we did in lead up to Rio, and how I ran the race, I'm very, very proud of. And yeah, I just know from that race that there's a lot more to come, and especially from performances this year, that it will come one day in the Major Championships, and hopefully it'll be soon.
And I noticed on Twitter recently you got involved in hashtag Active Girls Day. Are you conscious of being a role model?
Yeah, I mean, I think just even at the weekend there, I had a girl come up to me and said that she was still in the sport because of me, which was really good to hear. And yeah, I think I had Jess Ennis growing up. I remember watching London 2012 and seeing how she raced. And so hopefully, yeah, come 2020 in Tokyo, there might be somebody who saw me competing in Rio and thought to continue with their athletics.
Well, I was going to ask you about Jessica Ennis. Obviously, the sport has lost her essentially to retirement now, and what a great career she had. But so she was someone that made you think, well, she's there, so we can maybe be there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was on vet placement at the time of London 2012, and I remember watching her competing and yeah, seeing how well she did with that home crowd. And yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess someone who's kind of so small as well, sort of same sort of stature as me, and yeah, to kind of her go on there and win Olympic gold, it's yeah, that was, I think so many girls were inspired by that performance.
I think Roger Harkins, our director of coaching, he says you're a great role model for all athletes, male, female, almost any age, because of your dedication. One of the phrases that we hear from time to time is breakthrough year or shot to prominence, but the fact is there's years and years of hard work that go in at the base of it, isn't there, Laura? I think you've been in the sport more than 10 years now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I first started racing when I was like 11, 12, and yeah, I've kind of been on the circuit every year since then, and yeah, sort of grown up racing against the same girls, and it'll be nice racing at the weekend with some of those same girls as well, looking at the start list. So yeah, definitely, it's not sort of a 1 year project, as it were. It takes a long time and to reach where I'm at.
And is that something that maybe athletes in their mid-teens or whatever have to keep a hold of if they're disillusioned? I mean, what would you say to someone who's maybe injured, or they're not hitting the times that they're looking for, or they're just falling out of love with it for just now? Can you give them a wee bit of encouragement?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always done the sport just because I love it. It wasn't because I was winning races or traveling or being at these big competitions. It was just because I really, really enjoyed the sport. So I think if you love the sport, then that's great. And if your performance aren't there, then just keep working hard at it. And I think maybe if you're maybe losing out with the sport, then maybe just take a little break and see if you really miss it. And if you really miss it, then you want to go back to it. And there's all those other sports out there as well you can try. But I think just keeping involved with the sport and keeping active is really, really important when you're young.
Thanks, Laura.